Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here again with you on the 13th of December 2022. I'm here with psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Pross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a mishmash. We're going to start with Jerome Powell, who is the 16th chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
And in the next day or so, I believe, the Federal Reserve is going to vote on either to raise or lower or do nothing with the Fed rate. The current rate is 375 to 400 basis points. That's 3.75 to 4%. So the market is guessing that there will be a rate rise, a hike. So if we could pop him out to the 16th of December.
Okay, so December 16th, 2022, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
Did the Federal Reserve vote to raise the rate, the Fed rate?
Did the Federal Reserve recently vote to raise the Fed? Is it called the Federal Reserve rate? What is it called exactly, please?
That's a good point, actually. What is the action? It's just known as the Fed rate. Yeah.
The Fed rate. Yes, but I don't feel it's as much as it has been.
Okay. Is the current rate now 400 to 425 basis points?
Basis points. Yes, that is correct.
Well, there you go. That's a good call then.
What is the current rate at the moment?
I think it was. Sorry?
Before the hike, what is the rate?
I think it was 375 or somewhere around there. Is it 350 to 375 or 375 to 400? Hang on, I can't remember. Good point. My other screen has just frozen up. Excellent.
No, not to worry. It's okay. So I do feel there is going to be a slight raise. How did the stock market react to that raise? Okay, so I feel like the stock market's going to go down. I really do.
Okay, but the market is expecting it to. The market is expecting the rate rise as we sit today on the 13th. Most people believe. Yeah, so the current rate is 375 to 400, and they're going to raise it to, what did we say, 425 to 450 or 400?
Yes, about that. Yes, it's not going to be too much of a hike, I don't feel.
Yeah, there's always a spread. Yeah, they always give a spread. So, and it's normally 25 basis points, which is 0.25%. So if they're raising it from 375 bottom to 420, that's about 0.5% rate rise. Some people were predicting 0.75%. So, okay. Right. Let's ask another question. Does the Federal Reserve support Bitcoin?
Does the Federal Reserve? So let me pull them down.
Yeah, sorry.
And I'm just going to group the Federal Reserve as an entity. Does the Federal Reserve support Bitcoin? No.
So it does not support the trading pair of USDT, which is tether, to Bitcoin.
Does it support the trading pair USDT to Bitcoin? No, they don't like it. They don't like it. Personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, they don't like crypto.
Okay. Do they provide in any way any liquidity to the crypto market?
Do you provide in any way any liquidity to the crypto market? Well, so I feel like that's an open-ended question. Yes, but in a roundabout way, not directly.
Right. Do they believe that the current crypto market is being manipulated?
Do you believe that the current crypto market is being heavily manipulated? No, but I feel that it is.
Yeah, so do I.
It doesn't make sense. All year, the crypto market has followed the stock market, right? For the most part. Now, the last couple of weeks, the stock market has been terrible. And yet the crypto market is either stable or going up. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. That says to me, it's being manipulated.
Right. But there is another side of it as well, Liz, is there's no volatility. There's almost no movement on the crypto market. It's almost like it's like a stationary object, if you like. Okay. Right.
So you're saying that the trading volume is non-existent, or the trading volume is not going up or down? What does that mean?
So if we look at the market cap, it's been hovering around $890 billion plus or minus a little bit for a long time. If we look at the 24-hour volume statistics on any given coin, I mean, it's not that high, really. Bitcoin has shown a bit of an up in the last day or two, but apart from that, it's been very flat. And obviously, if there's no trading, or if there's not, rephrase that. If there's not much trading, then there's not going to be that much volatility and not that much price movement. So is an entity... See, I was wondering whether the Fed was providing liquidity somehow to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin does need a liquid pair to trade, not the dollar, and it really needs a stable coin. And the only stable coin of note is Tether. I thought maybe the Fed was feeding in money into Tether, to keep Bitcoin going, because I think they might not like Bitcoin, but they might appreciate, because bear in mind, the Fed is in a battle with, deep state, Davos, sort of the ECB, all of those they're not on the same page as the Fed. And whilst they might not like Bitcoin has, is sort of similarly anti them just by design. So I was wondering whether there was anything being fed into the Bitcoin, specifically Bitcoin, but into the crypto sphere, but via Bitcoin and via Tether, because that would be a way of getting liquidity into the market. Because, there's not the sentiment at the moment. The market sentiment is not exactly good, is it? People are not feeling good. So,
well, no, they're not.
I don't believe they want Bitcoin to fade and die.
So you think that it's the Federal Reserve? Let's ask. Do you believe that the Federal Reserve? Let's ask the crypto market. Okay, let's drop the Federal Reserve. Let's ask the crypto market. Who is preventing Bitcoin and the crypto market from crashing out right now? So the exchanges. I feel like the exchanges are stopping, they're preventing it crashing and burning.
Right. Okay. So they are, right. Okay. But don't forget, if we defund the crypto exchanges, I mean, I know they work on basically on a ledger basis. They don't have all the cryptos. We know that. We've done that in previous videos. We know that their liquidity is low, but I mean, if they're keeping it running, obviously self-interest, of course, they don't want to go out of business. But where is the liquidity coming from? Hold on.
Where is the liquidity coming from? It's coming from the users.
Right. Okay. Can we drop them and just grab Tether, please, as the entity?
Okay.
It's on your screen now.
Okay, I've got Tether.
Okay, ask them the question. Where is the liquidity coming from? Where is Tether being funded from currently?
Where are you being funded from currently? It's all over the place. How do we narrow that down?
Well, let's ask them. Is the US Federal Reserve in any way funding you?
Is the US Federal Reserve funding you? No.
Is the US government funding you?
Is the US government?
Treasury?
No, but you know what I got? No, as weird as this may sound, China.
Ooh. Okay.
China is funding and backing Tether.
Ah, okay.
No, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, and I don't understand it. But I got that answer twice now.
China is backing and funding Tether. Okay. Well, all right. I thought it was the Federal Reserve, but it's China. Okay. Is that the Chinese government, the Chinese central bank? Who is it?
No. Is that the Chinese central bank? I feel like it's a consortium. I feel like it's it's like a band of people, a band of banks.
Why are they doing that?
Why are you doing that? Because if crypto collapses, that would spell disaster for the Chinese economy. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
That's quite a big reveal because, all right, I thought it was the Fed, but all right, but it's China. So they are backing Tether, and Tether is one of the main liquidity or on-ramps for the crypto market.
Okay, but I don't know what that means.
Well, the circulating supply of Tether seems to hover around 65 to 70 billion dollars all the time, so that's sort of a backstop. It's one of the ways that you can, because it's very difficult to move US dollars around in the cryptoverse because you need money transmitter licenses and things like that. In other words, you almost need to be a fully fledged bank. Well, most of these exchanges can do on-off ramps in fiat. So Tether, Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, you can use dollars to buy your cryptos and you can cash out back that way. But you can't move dollars around between Binance and Coinbase because you're not, you need to be a bank to do that. And they're not banks and they don't have banking licenses or money transmitting licenses. So Tether provides the liquidity between all of the exchanges. It also provides liquidity to the decentralized exchanges because it's one of the pairs. It's one of the most used pairs. So there's always a swap with Tether USDT. So, it's probably the best and the safest of all the stable coin. I mean, if China is backing it, that's big. That's huge. And didn't you have some information to share with us about Digital Group, whatever they call USDC?
Yes. So if you remember, Mr. Shakespeare, from earlier on in the year, I've always said, be careful of USDC. I don't know why. I just got it every time people are like, tether, 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 tether. And it was never about tether for me. I always got that USDC was a big problem. And then today, actually, just right before we hit the record button, somebody sent me a news article from CNBC. Binance temporarily halts withdrawals of stablecoin USDC as investor concerns mount after FTX collapse. So there you go. I've always said that USDC was going to have problems. And those of you that have followed me for quite some time, hopefully you actually listen to the information that I put out. And there, you know, that what can I say? But everybody has always said tether, tether, tether. And if you remember, Mr. Shakespeare, from the beginning of this year, when I was being asked about, well, what's going to happen to crypto in 2023? Because I could see this massive disruption coming around the early part of 2023. And then as we got closer, I was saying there's going to be a major problem with all the exchanges. I feel like the exchanges, they're going to be hacked or the money's going to disappear. I didn't know how. I don't understand all that stuff. And now look what's happened. You know, the money, as we have now probed further into the liquidity, it has disappeared. So basically, you've put your money into crypto, into the exchanges, and the liquidity just is not there. A couple of days ago, Binance news came out about the audit. They couldn't pass their audit. They failed it. But in the same time, funnily enough, all these new articles started springing up about Binance is great. You know, it's liquidity is fine. There's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. There's nothing wrong with Binance. But what people need to remember is that any business owner who wants to boost their SEO, they hire companies to write articles. That's why when people send me articles all the time, you know, you have to wonder, how is this generated? You've got this whole SEO existence of where, okay, say I get a prediction wrong. Okay, I can go on to Fiverr or some other places and I can pay somebody $50 or $100 and they can write articles about how wonderful I am and how I always get my predictions right. Okay, nobody's 100% all of the time. So that's how it works. And I noticed immediately after that news broke, the internet got flooded with these articles about how wonderful Binance is and how we don't need to worry about the audit. Well, that just red flagged for me all over the place. And I said, oh, okay, they've paid someone to boost their SEO, to outdo the news articles. And that's what all these companies do, right? And to go a little bit further on a tangent, when the first thing I said when I did Channeling Eric over the Idaho murders, because I've worked so many homicide cases before, what is being reported in the media, unless it's coming from a press conference held by that police department, that officer in charge of the investigation, you can't listen to that, right? Because they're just interviewing people on the street. They're just saying, what happened? What do you know? And they're trying to piece it together. So you have to just set all that aside. I just know from working homicide cases, most of the information around homicides is completely bogus that's reported in the media. But anyway, I could see very clearly that the SEO was boosted for Binance to overcome the negative articles so that Binance doesn't go down. I don't know why they blew the whistle on FTX when in actuality, they're pretty close to the same liquidity levels as FTX. So what do you think, Mr. Shakespeare?
Well, the reason why Binance was attacked recently is because they blew the whistle on FTX. Don't forget one of Bankman-Fried, or whatever his name is, who's been arrested, by the way, in the Bahamas. So possibly so.
I said he would be. They were doing an investigation, and he would eventually have to answer to all of this.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether he's also been subpoenaed to appear in front of, is it Congress or Senate? And now he's been arrested. He won't have to appear. So I'm wondering if that arrest was staged, you know, so that, okay, yes, he'll be locked up, but he can't answer a subpoena if he's in jail in the Bahamas, can he? So we don't know. But just going back to Binance for a minute, Binance was attacked recently because it blew the whistle on FTX. But it blew the whistle on FTX because, you know, it was a dog-eat-dog world. Bankman-Fried said that he wanted to take down Binance, and Binance wanted to absorb FTX. So I think it was just, you know, they did it first, and now there's sort of, you know, a bit of kickback. We've probed Binance before, and Binance survives. So, you know, I don't see as a problem. What we should do, though, is probe them again now and ask them.
Well, Binance survives on that current timeline. So that's the thing I've noticed about future self readings. And it's at the point you are having that future self conversation through me with your future self based upon the probabilities, the likelihood. That is the information that is being reported back. So when we, you know, Binance may go down. I don't feel that it will, but, you know, irregardless, you have to get your cryptos off of these exchanges. And somebody put in the Discord, well, you know, if everything's going to go crashing down, then everybody should just sell. Obviously, excuse me, your opinions and what you do with your money is entirely up to you. I'm not responsible for that. I'm not a financial advisor. But, you know, it's entirely up to you. But I will say, to have anything on iTrust, you know, and somebody said to me, well, no, there's no crypto on iTrust. So it's, you know, it's just money. I put money into iTrust and they buy the crypto and it's held somewhere else. Okay, that sounds like the biggest scam going to me. Right? And when we probed iTrust, they had a 2% liquidity. So it doesn't matter if it's a crypto or if it's a dollar bill, right? It's 2 cents on that dollar. What you're buying there is totally irrelevant. And you have to remember, these are all mostly unregulated, you know, playgrounds. And people have made a lot of money off crypto, but people have lost a lot of money off crypto too. And right now, with everything being so volatile, I would just say, you know, you've been warned. I wouldn't keep anything on any exchanges that you cannot afford to lose. Mr. Shakespeare's gone to sleep.
All right. Okay.
Sorry about that. So what would you like to ask Binance?
Yeah, I did want to ask Binance. Ask. Can you grab Binance, please?
Yep, I've got them.
Are they being supported by the Chinese government or the Chinese central bank?
By the Chinese government. Not directly, no. Indirectly, yes.
There you go. That's why Binance doesn't go down.
Indirectly, yes. As in, the Chinese government is backing Bitcoin. It's backing Tether. I don't feel like so much it's backing Ethereum, but they're trying to prevent a worldwide disaster. That's coming through very clear to me. Just think,
right.
Binance goes down.
They're backing Tether. They're backing. It doesn't matter whether it's directly or indirectly. They're backing it. That's the point. So you've got the gravitas of the Chinese government, if you like, backing Tether, Binance, and Bitcoin. I mean, hello, what's not to like?
Right, right. And what is coming through is, people only buy goods and services when they have the money to do so. If crypto just completely goes up in smoke, right? And all these people lose all this money, it will have a knock-on effect of the Chinese economy. It will. It will have a disastrous effect because people will not be able to afford to buy goods.
We've done many probes via many entities, and the crypto market does not go away. It's still around. So, I think we have to be careful about, spreading fear, false evidence appearing real, and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because, the crypto market is volatile, is unregulated, but it's still the place where most people, can try and earn something. They're not going to earn anything in the legacy markets or anything like that. They're not going to earn anything putting their money on a money deposit, certificate of deposit, getting paid 0.1% a year. So for most people, if you're not connected into the stock market, if you're not one of these kind of players, if you're not the Goldman Sachs and people like that, crypto is where we can, is our playground. And so, I take a completely opposite view to you, as you know, when it comes to things like this. I leave money on exchanges. I do. Well, I leave coins on exchanges because I can't trade. I can't trade and I can't do my buys unless I've got funds on there. And now what's coming out is that this Tether, which, is my preferred stable coin along with Hex, if Tether is now backed indirectly by the Chinese government, Tether's going nowhere. Binance is going nowhere. Bitcoin is going nowhere. Yes, there's going to be a lot of coins that fade and all that lot. There's a ton of coins. And I'm sure when regulations come in, that will take a load of them down just because they will be deemed to be securities. But for whatever reason, the Chinese government, Chinese entities, Chinese consortium want cryptos to survive. That's quite powerful for me.
Yeah, it is powerful. It is. So like you said, I do believe that a lot will fade away, and that's okay. Just be careful where you put your money. But Mr. Shakespeare, if that exchange locked up today that you have your coins on, how would you feel? How would you feel if it went bankrupt and you could not withdraw? Would you be okay? Or do you have a backup plan?
Okay. Well, I don't keep all of my funds on there, obviously. I only keep stuff that I'm going to be trading with.
Right.
But how would I feel if I just kept my money in a bank account and we had a bank run and they shut the bank down over the weekend? How would I feel if I invested in an investment trust or, Lehman Brothers or something like that and that went down? Life is full of risk.
It is.
If you are very risk averse, get out of the crypto market and put your money in a CD, then you don't have to worry. Okay? I mean, I take on risk. I mean, it's quantifiable to me. I've lost money in things. I was, Cryptopia, New Zealand exchange went down, and I had some funds on there. I'll never see those again, So, but I take the rough with the smooth, so I have a trader mentality, even though I don't day trade or do anything like that, anymore. I used to. I've done this in the past, but I don't do it anymore. So you have to accept there are many, many risks involved in cryptos. And whilst I don't believe in, mortgaging your house or second mortgaging or riding out on credit cards and all that lot, because you're buying with debt, which I don't believe in at all, But you've got to use money that you can afford, even if that's only $50. If you can afford to lose it, well, okay. But for most people, especially in the realms that we're operating in, especially in the realms of the people on your Discord, they are all crypto people. or most of them are. You know, most of the questions that come through are crypto or something related to money, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And
So
we are going to do, we're not going to do it today because we don't have time, but we are going to do a very, very different way of looking at all these coins just to see if we can find, you know, eke some extra information out, which might be of use to people. But that's for another video. We don't have time today.
no. Well, anyway, that's great, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you for all of your knowledge and sharing it with people. What should we do right now? I mean, what should we do? It's obviously the crypto market. It's obviously being manipulated. So, I mean, what do we do?
Well, I can't give financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm still waiting for the bottom on certain coins to happen. I was rather hoping they would happen this week. It does not look like that's going to happen. But I have bottom prices or a range of bottom prices, which when they trigger, I will buy. Now, whether that's this week or next week or the week after or into January, I don't know. I was rather hoping it was going to be this week. Maybe it still will be, you know? That's what I'm going to do. I'm essentially buying a dip. But I've done my research. I've looked at the coins that I'm interested in, and those are the ones that I'll be buying. Today, I feel even not, you know, I don't feel bad about the crypto market because I haven't done for a long time, but I feel even better knowing, weirdly, I mean, I thought it was the Fed behind it, but it's China. Well, okay. China are going nowhere. So, you know, China are going to take over most things. And if they want the crypto market to stay fluid and Binance to stay fluid, which is the world's biggest exchange, to stay fluid, that's all good. That's good. That's bullish to me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this was an interesting probe to get that information. Yeah, the Chinese don't want it to go down because if loads of millions and millions and millions of people lose their cryptos through Binance, through a mass exchange bankruptcy crash, whatever you want to call it, disaster, they're not going to be buying goods. And if they're not buying goods, the Chinese economy plummets. So it's all very relevant.
Also, Liz, to bear in mind, Binance is a Chinese exchange.
Oh, right. Okay.
Imagine, I mean, they don't care if Coinbase goes down, that's American. Or Kraken, that's American. You know, they can't give two figs whether they go down. But if Binance goes down, and Binance is the biggest exchange, you know, everybody will be looking for a scapegoat. Oh, it was China did this. So, you know, it's in China. You can see why it's in China's interest to keep, you know, Binance going, Binance liquid. And if they're backing Tether as well, that's amazing. Because I bet they're not backing any other stable coin.
Are you backing any other stable coin? No.
There you go.
Is Tether Chinese as well then?
No.
Okay. All right.
But it's not the market, it's the biggest liquid by volume and liquidity, it's the biggest stable coin. So, you know, whether they've picked on that one, that's okay. It doesn't matter. They could have picked on DAI, or, you know, one of the other ones, PAX USD, but they didn't. They picked on that one. Why have they picked on that one? Because it's the biggest stable coin, you know, by market cap. So they've got the biggest exchange and the biggest stable coin and the biggest single coin by market cap. I mean, you know, it's a trifecta there. There's three things. It's quite important. I had no idea that was coming out today, I can tell you.
No, we never know. We never know what we're going to get when we do these probes. Never. It's not even worth assuming because you know, oftentimes spirit or whatever, the mind probe throws you a curveball and you don't ever expect it. That's why I love these probes. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Shakespeare. This was fantastic. And I'm sure it will benefit our Discord members greatly. So thank you very much.